Hello and happy Monday, everybody. Here's coming up tonight on Now. We've been doing a lot of stories about that neighborhood in Sanford that has a big drug problem near that school. We'll update you on a developing situation there.
Plus, NBC is actually shining the national spotlight on the opioid epidemic. So we're speaking with one of the reporters who did the special report.
And the Red Sox trying to keep their season alive. We are live from Fenway.
This is News Center Now.
All right, let's take a look outside in Bar Harbor and Portland. Lots of fog. Some places are seeing downpours right now as what's left of Hurricane Nate moves through our area. Thanks for joining us on the air and live on Facebook. I'm Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Amanda Hill. It has been a soggy day, but this gloomy and wet weather won't last too long. Meteorologist Jessica Conley's in for Keith Garson tonight and joins us from the Weather Center. Hey, Jess.
Hey, guys. Yeah, it's just been kind of a gross day out there with the remnants of Nate moving through, bringing us some rain, but we're also seeing some fog, as you saw in some of those webcam shots. Here's a look at the current satellite radar right now. Some pretty heavy rain across far western Maine, the mountains and some of the higher elevations, seeing some pretty heavy rain there. We can zoom in a little bit and see some of the mid-coast getting a little bit of a break right now. Same thing for Bangor, maybe just a couple showers around at this time. Down East Maine, seeing the rain again. Now, it is going to continue as we go through the rest of the night tonight, but once we kind of get into the late night or early morning hours tomorrow, things will definitely start to wrap up. So that's good news if you're already tired of the rain. We do need it, though. So good news for some of us, too. Visibility now pretty low, under 1/8 of a mile right now in Portland, under 1/4 of a mile in Rockland. Do be careful if you're headed home from work right now. Just take your time on the roads. Don't forget to leave plenty of room between you and the car in front of you as well. So tonight, again, showers wrap up, and by tomorrow morning, we'll start to see skies clear out. Guys, tomorrow is going to be gorgeous. We're going to see very warm temperatures again and plenty of sunshine. So looking pretty good. We'll talk about the rest of the week, too.
All right, we'll see you then, Jess. Thank you. All right, yet another arrest in a Sanford neighborhood that's been in the spotlight because of its proximity to an elementary school.
Yeah, so you guys remember how we first got onto this story in the first place? It was from you, the viewers, who told us about one woman's mission to take back her neighborhood. Well, Carrie Zilke sent us this picture taken less than 200 feet from the Lafayette Elementary School in front of a house that had repeated arrests for drug activity in the past. Josh Norda was arrested yesterday morning, charged with violating the conditions of his release as well as possession of a scheduled drug. Norda was just arrested in the same location a month ago. That arrest led to him being charged with aggravated trafficking of scheduled drugs within 1,000 feet of a school zone. At that time, he was being held on $10,000 bail. Well, the opioid crisis is consuming our country, and NBC News is doing a series on the epidemic this week.
Yeah, it's called One Nation Overdosed, a Generation at Risk. It's looking at the problem from the viewpoint of children to first responders and many others.
So I had a chance to speak to NBC's Kate Snow about her upcoming reports. I know you moved out of Bangor when you were little, but can we still claim you as Maine's own? Is that okay?
Yeah, I was born in Bangor. My dad was at Orono at University of Maine. I was born in Bangor, so sure.
So this opioid situation is so serious in our state. You had a chance to kind of go across the nation. Did you find when you were kind of on the grounds firsthand that it's even worse than you think, or was it kind of what you were expecting?
Well, and I've actually been in Portland a few years ago when we started, really reporting on the opioid crisis. So I know what you're dealing with up there in Maine. Look, it's everywhere now. Everywhere we've gone over the past several years, I hear the same kinds of stories, that it crosses socioeconomic lines. It's not one type of person anymore, and it's become, unfortunately, kind of the fabric of part of our society. And what we're focused on now on Nightly News is the kids, the children that are suffering innocently because of what's happening all around them.
Well, and I know that's one of the pieces you're working on, and the children is kind of the untold story, really, because we hear about the addicts and those who either make it or don't make it, but a lot of those people have children, and boy, are they affected by this.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, for example, we tonight will be telling the story of Tori, who's a 14-year-old living in Dayton, Ohio. 10 years of her life, her first 10 years, her mother was using heroin and her uncle in the same house. And she was essentially neglected. She didn't really have a mom. She describes being the mom herself and having to cook the meals and having to get herself ready. And it's hard to hear these stories from young children, but I think it's important. She wanted to tell her story to help other kids and to show that this is happening. Another huge topic here is the first responders. I mean, they're the ones who get there, who assess, who essentially can save the lives of these people if there's an overdose. I mean, boy, do they have stories to tell. I spent the day with some first responders in Ohio. I think it was about 8 or 10 hours we were with them, and we went to a location where there were 3 people overdosed, and I watched them save 3 lives, and one of them was clinically dead when we got there. So that was harrowing to see, but they're doing that every shift, every day. And I know it's similar up in Maine. I've actually been around with some of your EMTs up there too a while ago. The other thing that we're looking at is schools and how schools are coping. We were in New England in Massachusetts at a school out on Cape Cod where all the teachers and the principal have to think about this every day now, because it's not all the kids, obviously, but there's a fair number. In the 4th grade alone, they've lost 6 parents in this one elementary school. So how do you cope with that, and how do you teach kids to deal with their emotions?
All right, Case, thank you for doing this, for shining the light on this topic, and we look forward to seeing your work.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that series continues coming up all week this week on NBC Nightly News, on the Today Show, MSNBC, and online as well.
Yeah, meanwhile, a lot of frustration in Las Vegas after the mass shooting there happened a week ago yesterday during an outside country music festival. People are now desperate for answers about why that shooter even opened fire.
Investigators are following every thread, looking into more than 1,000 leads. They still do not have a clear motive or reason why. Officials tell NBC News that they believe the shooter did act alone. Police are looking into a cryptic note left in the shooter's hotel room with a series of numbers on it. They're also questioning firearms dealers and sorting through the suspect's prolific gambling history. IRS records shows that he earned at least $5 million just from gambling in 2015. 58 people died in the mass shooting. About 400 people were injured.
Popular musician was in Maine over the weekend and took a little time to chat with us about one of his most popular songs.
Yeah, Matthew Paul Miller, who most people know more commonly as Mattis Yahoo, plays here quite often. His hit song One Day was released in 2009. It was kind of an anthem for people in the world to just get along. That message is as important today as it's ever been.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day.
When you wrote One Day,
yeah,
it obviously has a powerful message about things that are going on in the world. Here we are in 2017. Things are still going on in the world that I'm sure we'd all like to change.
And who was it that co-wrote the song with me? Bruno Mars. A lot of people don't know that. It's like a little fun fact. So it was before he had a record deal, and he had a production company, and it was him and another cat. And yeah, we wrote that song together with that pop sensibility, with that just inspirational kind of drive to just try to, a song that pretty much across the board anybody could relate to from any background, from any religion or place,
But that message still holds true today because there's still things going on in our world.
Absolutely.
Where that song still is very relevant.
Yeah, I mean, that song will always be relevant because there will always be things going on. Because we don't live in a perfect world, but we can try to have the vision of one, or at least a world filled with more empathy. And songs like that, it serves like a prayer in a way to try to inspire people to try to, it's a moment. When you hear a song, it's a moment. It gives you it's a flash in the bucket, but it gives you a certain inspiration that hopefully you can take out into your world,
You saw what happened in Las Vegas. You're a performer.
Yeah.
How do you keep it out of your head, or do you not even, do you worry about that stuff, that you're going to a place with a lot of people and we live in crazy times?
Yeah, I do. I worry about it, but you know what? Why should it happen in one scenario, not in another scenario? People that want to do this, that's what they're going to do. And I think the main thing that I've learned from being the time that I've spent in Israel and my connection over there is to see how a country that's constantly under fire, under terror attack, how they just make a point of continuing to do what they do and not to be pushed around by it. And we live in an imperfect world where people murder each other, and unfortunately. But if we continue to do what we do, and whether that's reporting the news, singing the music, driving a bus, whatever it is, you know, that's the main thing, you know.
And we will have more with Mattis Yahoo coming up later on this week on 207.
Dove, the personal care brand, has dropped an ad after a lot of criticism. The ad showed 3 women, each removing her shirt to reveal the next woman.
Just ahead on now, why some are calling the ad offensive and racist. Stay with us.
Tonight on 207, our interview continues with Ken Rayner, the golf professional and friend of former President George H.W. Bush, about his time spent with some of America's most powerful people. Plus, playing the piano for patients at Maine Med on 207 at 7.
A controversial ad from Dove has many people calling them racially insensitive, prompting an outcry and an apology. I'm Katie Ortiz with your Social Stop. Dove posted this ad, a 3-second GIF, to Facebook on Saturday. It profiled 3 women, each of them removing their top to reveal the next woman. The video should be playing there. But what people are taking issue with are the first 2, where a black woman wearing a brown shirt takes it off to reveal a white woman in a lighter top. That woman then removes her shirt to reveal a third woman of apparently Asian descent. Now, social media users slammed the company, some pledging to throw away their soap, others like Gemma calling it straight-in-your-face racism. But some came to their defense. Eunice said that she doesn't think they intended it to come that way, but it was more about the execution. And another user said it wasn't racist at all. Dove responded and deleted the ad, and in a short statement on Saturday, they say they missed the mark in representing women of color thoughtfully. We deeply regret the offense that it caused. Today, a lengthier statement from Dove. Quote, the short video was intended to convey that Dove Body Wash is for every woman and be a celebration of diversity, but we got it wrong. They go on to say it should not have happened, and they're reevaluating their internal processes for creating and approving content. Lee and Amanda.
All right, Katie, thanks. Yeah, and mixed reaction from you guys on Facebook right now as well. A lot of you saying, yeah, that shouldn't have been there, and others going, I didn't really see what was wrong with it. So,
yeah,
kind of the same thing Katie just said.
Well,
mixed on Facebook
how you view
as well.
It, for sure.
All right, is the Red Sox season over? We're going to go live to Fenway Park in just a minute and get you the answer to that all-important question.
Plus, some places are seeing straight-up downpours right now. How long is that rain sticking around? Jess Conley maps it out next.
All right, guys, a lot of you have been asking about what's going on at the Motel 6 there on the Portland-Westbrook line. There's a heavy police presence right now at that location. We don't know much about the situation, only that there are state troopers, a SWAT team, and a police negotiator on site.
Employees at the store near the motel say troopers have been on scene most of the day, and people staying at the motel have not actually been allowed inside for quite some time now. This is a live look right now. Again, this is a developing story. We will keep you updated as we learn more. Meanwhile, the Boston Red Sox were in a do-or-die game 4 in the ALDS this afternoon, still going on.
Yeah, Chris Costa, Jess Gagne down at Fenway Park for the game, guys. A lot of fans were on edge coming into this one.
Yeah, and you're about to see a lot of fans come out behind us because this game just finished up. The Red Sox lost to the Astros 5-4. The Astros will advance to the ALCS. The Red Sox season, unfortunately, over. And the rain is starting to come down a little harder, it feels like. Just some sadness, Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really, really sad, obviously, finish for the way things that happened here. But there were a lot of fans who made the spur-of-the-moment decision to just get some tickets today, despite the rain and the dreariness, and come down here all in hopes of seeing one thing.
There you go. This is my 5th game of the year. First postseason game now ever.
We got the tickets last night. I had the day off, and he had the day off, so it was time to come for another game.
And I've never been to a postseason baseball game.
Right on in.
Thank you.
And I saw the opportunity, saw the tickets, had to do it.
It's do or die, win or go home, so we're pulling for a win. Hopefully the rain stays away.
I'm hoping that they can get behind us, put up some runs, get us on to a game 5.
We're really excited about today because we're going to do it.
It's not over.
Go Red Sox.
Maybe the trick is being at home. Right. So hopefully we can do it today, and then they can carry that on to Houston.
Yes, there's a great moment that they didn't really show on TV where they were down 3-0 and Mookie Betts made the catch. And on the scoreboard here at Fenway, they zoomed in on a fan who had the 28-3 Falcons shirt on, and the crowd went nuts. And then they played Tom Petty's Won't Back Down, and the whole crowd was singing it. And they came out and scored 3 runs. It was unbelievable. And those are the moments you live for.
You know, it's almost harder to hear that stuff knowing that they just lost. The Red Sox just losing this one 5-4 to the Houston Astros. The Astros advanced to the ALCS, in case you missed it at the top of the head. So obviously not the way these fans wanted this one to end.
Nope, and we will have highlights and more from Boston coming up on News Center at 6 o'clock, so be sure to join us then. For now, we're going to try to get inside for a little bit while we can, because it's really starting to blow here.
All right, guys.
It is worse to be outside in the rain, though, when it's lost.
I can't tell you how happy I am to be inside right now. That worked out pretty well.
Just sitting right here, yeah.
All right, let's get to some more serious news now. Police in Baltimore have made an arrest in a bizarre case of road rage involving a school bus full of students. One of the students shot the video on his cell phone. You can see a man clinging to the front of the moving bus. This was last week. Police say the man was trying to get on the bus after he says somebody on the bus threw a bottle at his car. Police say that the man caused damage to the bus, and they did arrest him without any incident.
Jeez. All right, about 10 wildfires are sweeping through areas of Northern California. The flames started yesterday. They multiplied overnight, hitting Napa and Sonoma the hardest. At least 50 buildings are destroyed, and the wildfires are threatening thousands of homes. More than 50,000 acres have already burned. None of the fires have been contained. The governor of California has issued a state of emergency for several counties at this point. The cause is under investigation, and there are no reports yet of injuries.
All right, back to that bus video for a second. I know you would totally do that because you would get road rage and you would jump on a bus.
I would
never do that. Would you do that?
No, of course
okay,
not.
So
that was crazy.
Amanda, you would do that.
Thank you for saying that.
Oh my goodness.
You've got road rage. You've admitted it.
I mean, I've gotten upset at someone, but I would never get out of my car and like come. I would probably, if someone threw a bottle out of a bus at my car, I would take note of what number the bus was, and I would call the superintendent.
I would totally do that same thing. I would totally call and just be like,
most
look,
likely to
this
jump
is
on the
dangerous.
bus of the three of us, though, is Amanda.
I don't even. I'm great.
Okay.
I'm on your side.
Especially if she's hungry and mad, look out.
That's a different story. Hangry can make people do things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
It's a condition.
All right, so weather, that's what I'm here for,
on.
I think. I can't remember. We have some rain out there right now. We do need the rain, of course. We haven't seen a good amount of rain in quite some time. Showers will continue as we go through the night tonight, but then tomorrow, if you want some warmer air back, you're going to be in luck. We're talking about temperatures tomorrow back into the mid-70s. Some clouds around Wednesday, but then we'll see more sunshine as we get into a little bit later on in the week. As far as high temperatures went today, not very impressive, however, they are above normal for this time of year. Usually our highs topping out in the low 60s. You can see today most of us made it into the mid 60s. You'll also notice we haven't cooled off very much from our highs today. Of course, all those clouds around keeping us kind of insulated, and that's going to be the situation overnight tonight. It's still 66 in Bangor, 64 degrees right now in Portland, and overnight tonight will really only drop down into the low 60s because those clouds stick around for most of the night. As we get into tomorrow morning, though, things are going to clear up, and it's looking like a pretty good day tomorrow as long as you don't mind some of those temperatures back into the 70s. Pretty big downpours, though, right now. The Greenville area seeing some pretty heavy rain at this time. We're getting a couple breaks in some spots. The mid-coast to the down east coast are getting a few breaks from some of the rain. But again, the showers for the most part will continue as we go through the night tonight. Not a ton of rainfall. The other thing we're watching, though, is this fog, some pretty dense fog in places. Visibility in Portland now about 3/4 of a mile, but it was down to under 1/8 of a mile earlier. Now, good news is behind this rain, we have some clearer skies, and that's what we'll see by tomorrow. You can see by tomorrow afternoon, skies really start to clear out. And it looks like it'll be a pretty nice day. Check out those temperatures for highs, making it into the mid-70s tomorrow. Wednesday, looks like we'll see some sunshine to start the day, and then some clouds move in as we head into Wednesday afternoon and evening. Here's your marine forecast for tomorrow. Seas around 4 to 6 feet. There is a small craft advisory in effect through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, but after that, It's looking pretty good for tomorrow. Mid-70s. Again, we'll see some clouds for the day on Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday looking nice and bright. Temperatures will be able to make it back into the 70s as we head into next weekend. Guys?
All right, thanks, Jess.
All right, Cindy Williams here with look what's coming up at 5:30.
Yeah, coming up in the next half hour. We told you about a story a couple of weeks ago. You probably remember a woman crashed her car on I-95 in Old Town. She died in that crash. Her children were trapped in the car for hours and hours and hours until somebody came by, saw them, and pulled them out. Well, we're going to show you that very special moment when where the daycare workers who took care of those two kids honored the total stranger who saved the lives of those children. Just really something.
All right, that's at 5:30. Still to come for you. We have to vote on our hometown showdown.
That's When Now continues.
Hello everyone, time once again to vote for which game you'd like to see in the spotlight this week in our hometown showdown. And for week 7, we're going back to Class D. 2 teams have made it this far with untarnished records and will go head-to-head in Wells on Friday. The 6-0 Warriors will take on the 6-0 Greyhounds from Lisbon. In the north, the Lynx from Mananoquack Academy have a 4-2 record, but the boys from Stearns and Skank are out to stop them from putting another tick in the win column. And last but not least, the ponies from Foxcroft Academy haven't lost since week 1. They'll go head-to-head with last year's Class D champions from MCI, who moved up to Class C this season. You can vote by clicking Pulse in our app or heading to pulse.newscentermaine.com. You have all Monday to vote, and we will announce the winner on Tuesday, so get online and let your voice be heard.
Hi, you ever heard the saying, hungry like a bear? So a mama bear and her cubs were caught on camera sneaking a special snack from a pizzeria in Colorado.
I mean, I'm not saying I haven't done that. No, I'm just kidding. In the surveillance video from Saturday, you can see the 3 bears in the shop. The hungry family opens cabinets, checks for food, munches on some salami. The pizza place took to Facebook to call for the bears' safety. They say new bear proofing on dumpsters in the town has actually forced bears to look in people's homes and businesses to find food to bulk up for the winter.
And because you can't have too many cute animal stories, in Phippsburg, about 200 people gathered at Head Beach to watch 2 harbor seals go back into the ocean. This is video from yesterday. The Press Herald reports that someone rescued one of the seals back in July from Higgins Beach in Scarborough. It weighed only 28 pounds and was suffering an eye injury at the time. The other seal was about 4 to 6 weeks old when someone found him weighing only 17 pounds. That is less than a harbor seal should weigh at birth. Marine Mammals of Maine rehabbed and released the seals, and come on, I could watch little seals going to the water videos all day long.
I just love whoever set up that GoPro right there. That seal just went right up to it and was like, nope, we're done here.
So the seals are going swimming, the bears are getting pizza, everybody's happy.
It's madness.
Except for Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, News Center at 5:30 starts right now.